Well, Donald Trump is going to be your next president of the United States, and Mike Kehoe will be the next governor of Missouri. And the next governor joins us right now on 95.7 FM KCMO. We are streaming on the KCMO Talk Radio app, on your Alexa, on your Google Home. Mike, good morning. Congratulations. How does it feel the morning after?
Well, Pete, thanks for having me on. I appreciate you doing this. It feels incredible. I'm not really sure. I'm still asking myself, did I really win this thing? So it's been it's humbling. You know my journey. Your listeners have heard it a million times. When your goal as a kid is to own your own bicycle someday, it's really this is a great country. That's what I got to tell you. It was awesome, and I was super happy to see our national results. Holy cow! Man, what a night. It was fantastic.
Truly unbelievable. And I was watching your acceptance speech last night, and you got emotional at one point. What drove that emotion in that moment for you when you appeared to get choked up?
Well, we were talking about victories for, farmers and ranchers and kids that want education, choice, et cetera. And one of the things I had put in there was a victory for single mothers. And my mother, Lorraine Kehoe, raised, 6 kids by herself. I never met my father, and my mom was our hero. Even at 62 years old, she's been gone for 6 years. It's still tough for me to get her name out of my mouth. So that was tough for me, but I am happy for working mothers. We have a lot of single parents across this country and certainly in this state. I have a special place in my heart for those mothers who are raising those kids by themselves, and that never goes away. That comes naturally.
What do you think your mother would say to you this morning?
Well, she'd probably say, "Why are you doing this?"
Well, let's go. Go ahead.
My mom was just a hardworking woman. She wasn't an educated person. I said it last night. She believed if you love the Lord and want to work hard, you get anywhere you want in this country. And her answer to every time we whined about something was pray harder and work harder. And my mom knows we worked hard. She knows that I've stuck solid with my faith, and my wife Claudia and I have after 35 years of marriage and 4 kids. And I think my mom would be proud.
When you look back on your journey, you were a guy who was obviously in the state Senate. You were out of politics. You were back to being a business guy. And then Governor Parson taps you on the shoulder after he gets into the governor's mansion and says, "I need you back here." And now here you are, set to be the next governor. Think back to when you were back to being a regular guy, so to speak, and now to where you are today. What do you think of that development over the last 6.5 years or so?
Well, it's been part of an incredible journey. I'll tell you what happens, Pete, is that you're right. I served in the state Senate, and that was just really a way to give back to our community, which has been so good to us, is just to represent them in the state house. But once Governor Parson asked me to be lieutenant governor, and we start traveling around the state, meeting businesses, meeting farmers, meeting people who wanted those opportunities that I was blessed enough to receive. We became really passionate about trying to make sure we keep that American dream alive. And many of your listeners have experienced, certainly Claudia and I have experienced that American dream, and that's really my passion for running to this office. It's not a job opportunity. It wasn't something I ever dreamt of doing, to be honest with you. I really never, ever dreamt of being in politics. But I really want to keep that environment alive for future generations to be able to know if they work hard and they keep their nose to the grindstone, great things can happen in this country and in this state, and that's the environment, and that's the pavement that I want to lay out there for future generations.
Mike Kehoe is here. He will be the next governor of Missouri come January on KCMO 95.7 FM. What is issue number 1 for you come the next legislative session, Mike Kehoe?
You've heard it. Your listeners have heard it. We said it last night. Its hand comes off the Bible. It's enacting our Day 1 crime plan. And I can tell you that crime plan has been developed since we won the primary. We've got all the statewide law enforcement agencies that I was incredibly fortunate to receive their endorsement together to start developing that. We have police chiefs, we have troopers, we have sheriffs, we have FOP members. From there in the Kansas City area, Chief Rick Smith has been incredibly, insight has been incredibly valuable to that crime plan. And then we've also worked with Andrew Bailey. As you know, God love that guy. He kicked some tail last night, and he's an American hero right there. Our Attorney General you won't find any better person in the United States of America. And we're all going to work together to make sure we give cops the resources they need, that we're not defunding the police, that it's easier to be a cop than a criminal, which has somehow gotten mixed up lately in our society. We're going to make sure the criminals are held accountable for, and they're off our streets. Our streets have to be safe. Our neighborhoods have to be safe to walk in. We can't get to any of our other priorities as far as building an economy and education reform, et cetera, unless we get crime under control. That's day one, period.
How about keeping the Chiefs and the Royals in Missouri? We've talked a lot about it. A lot of people think that could get some traction here in the weeks ahead now that the election is over. How do you make that happen?
I mean, if the Chiefs were undefeated, it'd be a better conversation. Oh, wait, they are undefeated. I've said all along, Pete, you've heard me say this many times, I'm not a fan of dumping taxpayer dollars into stadiums. I am a fan of keeping any business that makes an impact on our economy, that employs Missourians, that has an incredible millions and millions of dollar impact on our economy like those two franchises are in the state of Missouri. So we're going to work with them very closely to find out what we can do to where we're not wasting taxpayer dollars. It has to be a good return on investment for Missourians to keep them where they belong in Missouri. I've talked to the ownership group and the owners themselves and the managers of both organizations. They know I'm very passionate about making sure they stay in Missouri where they belong, and we're going to work very hard to get them to be here.
Last thing, Governor-elect Mike Kehoe on KCMO. You referenced the national results last night. The Republicans obviously flipped the Senate. We don't know about the House yet. It's looking good, and Donald Trump is going to be the 47th president of the United States. When you look at how last night went, especially in some of the swing states, he may sweep all 7 swing states. What is the message from the American voter to our ruling class, to the elites last night in the wake of these results?
It is that we want to be America again. We want to be a country where a boy is a boy, a girl is a girl. That God does not make mistakes in what body he puts you in. We want to get back to foundational kind of right and wrong. And that's what the mandate you saw. And I'm using the word mandate because nobody thought Donald Trump was going to win the popular vote. Everybody thought he had a path by winning the Electoral College. But you really saw Americans come out yesterday all across our country and say the direction we have going is wrong. This woke kind of mentality of craziness that's out there is not the right direction for our country. Our country is better than that. I am so excited to be able to work with President Donald J. Trump. I mean, it is going to be – I was just talking to Senator Hawley right before I called you, and we were kind of laughing with each other like, this is going to actually be fun. You know, sometimes governing in politics can be kind of a quagmire, but with Donald Trump at the helm, Josh Hawley and Eric Schmidt for us here in Missouri, and the rest of our great congressional delegation, we're actually going to make America great and Missouri as best as it can be for our future generations, and we're going to put our fingerprints on it.
Well, congratulations, Mike Kehoe. How many texts do you have to sift through? I know you had about 1,000 in August. Do you have a number that high, or maybe not because it was more expected?
I'm gonna give you the first number, Pete Mundo. You'll be the first one to hear 1695.
1695. Who do you not know in Missouri? My goodness.
Well, they knew I was going to be on with you, and it made me very popular.
Well done. Well, congratulations, Mike, once again. You have an outstanding team there as well. You guys got it done, and looking forward to see what you'll do for the people of Missouri starting in January.
Thank you for mentioning that. Real quickly, our campaign team did an outstanding job. You've dealt with several of them. My wife and I are blessed to have them by our side, and we have them to thank for this victory. So I appreciate it. And all the voters that weighed in for us, we are very grateful and appreciate the support.
All right, Mike Kehoe, get some rest. All right, we appreciate it.
Yep. See you, buddy.
There you go. Mike Kehoe, the next governor in Missouri on 95.7 FM, KCMO Talk Radio.